Well folks, it looks like we got some more funny stuff going on. It looks like a Gearbox has sued 3D Realms yet again over Duke Nukem. So yeah, it looks like it's not gonna stop until 3D Realms finally gets dissolved, because in all honesty it pretty much doesn't serve any purpose whatsoever right now. So with that being said, let's get on with it, shall we? So it says in 2014 Gearbox sued 3D Realms and Interceptor Entertainment over Duke Nukem Mass Destruction, a top-down action RPG they were developing without the approval of Gearbox, which acquired the property in 2010. The case was settled last year. Gearbox was affirmed that the full owner, as the full owner of Duke Nukem Mass Destruction morphed into Bombshell, and all was well until last year when composer Bobby Prince filed a suit against Gearbox, Valve, and Randy Pitchford over music he had written for Duke Nukem 3D, which he claims was used without permission in the Gearbox published Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour. Now Gearbox has filed a new lawsuit against Apogee Software, the illegal name of 3D Realms, and co-founder Scott Miller and George Broussard, that alleges a breach of contract in relation to the sale of the Duke Nukem IP a decade ago. Simply put, Gearbox is saying that 3D Realms failed to mention that it didn't own that music when it sold the Duke Nukem rights. So below this we actually have a few quotes that say Gearbox purchased all intellectual property related to the Duke Nukem video game series, the Duke IP, from 3D Realms. The lawsuit states to Gearbox that the Duke IP was owned free and clear by 3D Realms, and 3D Realms had the rights to use the Duke IP without payment to a third party. 3D Realms further warranted in the APA that no copyright was infringed in the use of the Duke IP and the Duke Nukem video series. So this is a huge ass kerfuffle, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, yeah, copyright lawsuits are just so absurd and all that. It's just a huge thing to wrap your head around, and it's just insane and all that. According to Prince's lawsuit, he only licensed some of the Duke Nukem musics to 3D Realms. If that's the case, then it means 3D Realms failed to deliver Duke Nukem free and clear as stipulated in the purchase contract. Gearbox says 3D Realms has also refused to indemnify it against Price's claims, which was part of the purchase deal. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford told Digital Trends that he believes Prince's claim is legitimate, though it will ultimately be up to the court to make that decision. And over here we actually have some quotes from Randy Pitchford himself, and he says, quote, "We're literally in the middle. Either Bobby is right and deserves to be paid, in which 3D Realms is wrong, or 3D Realms is right and Bobby is wrong," Pitchford said. And we don't know, so we need to bring a judge in, as we have looking forward to both sides. So yeah, that's basically his take on it. I'm gonna read this a little bit further, then elaborate a bit on. It continues with, the purpose of Gearbox's action is primarily to ensure the company is protected from all cost judgments arising from Prince's lawsuit, though it also notes that if it's determined that 3D Realms did not own the contested property when it sold Duke Nukem, Gearbox also, quote, has incurred actual damages equal to the difference in the value of 3D Realms agreed to being transferred to Gearbox and what Gearbox actually deserved. Gearbox is seeking actual damages suffered, as well as all legal fees, interest, and whatever further relief that the courts deem justified. It looks like this article is going to be updated. You feel free to click the link in the description and bookmark it if you want to keep up with it. The thing is, this is all weird. Like I said in the beginning, it's a huge kerfuffle. Copyright licenses are just insane and all that. But the thing is, yeah, 3D Realms, I really hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to agree with Randy Pitchford on this, because it really does seem like this was a huge fail on the side of 3D Realms. They were supposed to specify in black and white what they owned and what was temporarily licensed and all that stuff. Recently there was a story about the Perpetual Clown himself, Neil Druckmann, that actually apologized for using an artist's song without permission. So yeah, when it comes to using people's creation without permission, you definitely fucked up in this one. I'm of course talking to 3D Realms and all that, which honestly shouldn't even exist at this point, because there really is no reason for it to be around anymore. It's not a studio; it's basically just a legal entity, and it's only there to just be a detriment and all that stuff. It's really hilarious to see how many of these lawsuits are just happening out of nowhere, and the fact that it's happening with the Duke Nukem of all things. Duke Nukem has basically been silent since Duke Nukem Forever. I don't even remember when the hell that game actually released, but yeah, it's pretty much right now at the moment a dead franchise, and the fact that there's still a huge humdrum over it, in the illegal sense, is just beyond me. Anyway, yeah, this has been a pretty short news story, but it's still a pretty fun one. I gotta say. And yeah, I really do hate that I have to agree with Randy Pitchford on this one. But you know, this is a legal case, and yeah, it does seem like you know, 3D Realms you know, fucked up in this one, and Gearbox is in the right. So that's about all I can get from this right here. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to bell icon, and if you wish to support me, my picture link is in the description below. And as always, I am Cyber Rampage, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.